Right now we about to ease on out. Tide's just getting right. It's a pretty day. Got a little breeze going. Keep the gnats down. But that's all part of harvesting oysters. I'm Timmons, owner of Harris Seafood.
My name is William Timmons, and I'm associated with the Harris Oysters Seafood.
We've been doing this business here for just like we have third generation. Our father's been doing it. We just kept it going.
And like you said, we've been doing it. We're third generation oyster pickers, harvesters. We've been doing it now for all our lives.
Yeah. Up right there. That's those spats. Feet up that bottom right. And all the dead shells, we'll clean them up a little bit. A nice little oyster. On down the beds, checking it out. Sometimes you walk the bed 2 or 3 times. Watch your footing. Good boots, but always keep the bucket in there. Because you never know, you might fall in a little section there.
You ever fell on one before?
Oysters?
Yeah.
Nah.
How long you been doing it again?
All my life.
Okay, well, all right, that ain't no rookie move.
No.
I'm pretty sure you know somebody that fell on one.
Oh, yeah. Out there, cause yep. Yeah, you see certain spots you can sit in, the foot go all the way down, So you can walk. Out there was towards the sun, walk light.
Yep, walk light. Yep.
Walk light and keep walking. Yep. Keep the bucket with you. And we have something to put back on.
Seafood and stuff. We're seafood lovers. We eat crabs, oysters, shrimp, conch, fish, everything up to seafood. Yeah, that's how we were raised. That's how our daddy, he took care of us and stuff.
Off the water.
And we loved it. He would go out there and pick oysters and get crabs and catch mullets and everything. And we were right there in the boat with him, and he taught us how to do it. Give a man a fish and then eat for a day, but you teach a man to fish and they eat for a lifetime.
You see, we had want to change a little bit, a little longer.
And these are like singles almost.
Yeah, they're just a little bigger.
Bigger oyster, bigger oyster. Particularly is to finish with that basket.
Yeah.
You get bigger oysters, and certain spots, just oysters grow a little bigger. Now when they're already open, he's going down the hatch. Don't get no better. Don't get no better. That's what we call slabs.
Slab. You think the majority of the people don't realize how hard it is to go out here and get the right stuff? And don't realize somebody got to come out here and hand pick and look at every one of them.
You touch one by one. You touch them. Every last one of them.
Yep, one by one. As you can see, as he's picking them, he's steady, furnishing the oyster bed back up again, like farming. It's farming. They grow faster in the wintertime than they do in the summertime. I don't know why is that, but in the summertime you come out here, it won't probably be no oysters hardly. And what they do is they bury down in the mud. And then the wintertime comes up, they'll come peeping out the mud. You'll see like a tip of just a shell. And all of a sudden he'll come out that mud and spring like a flowers. And you do this every year, like I said, you're steady putting back before what are you taking away. And the more that you put in there, the more you get back. I think last in the old days they would pick oysters a certain time of the year, and they would take them and like stick them in the mud,
Plant them back. Plant them back.
And that would be like they would plant them back, and like I said, next year they'll have a whole oyster bed.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right now you see the trap right there. The spats off the top of the mountain of the oysters. Spats came on down, they wash down. As they come down, they seed onto that trap right there. They cling on to it. And that's where the oysters begin to start growing.
So eventually that trap will turn into its own oyster mound.
Oh yeah. Big one, more. Well, you know you have a mound of oysters right there.
Mm.
Yeah.
We picked 40 bushels in one day. Just me and him. Then when the tide get high, we drift up in them little creeks, go pick up our oysters and bring them back to the dock. We never ran across an alligator.
No.
They're out there, but we wasn't thinking of no alligator.
No.
Oh, we never making that money. So if the alligator was out there, he better be ready for war. It's on. You gotta have a good back and good legs. Yeah. When you get in that marsh, you can't be standing still. You got to be moving. Because if you stand there moving around slow and something like that, next thing you know, you sink right on down. Mm-hmm. So you walk as fast as you can, light is good. And you get it. It's you in that bucket in your bags. You go across that marsh, and you get to the bank, you sit there, and see you bam, 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 bam. And some of them you can break apart with your hands, So that made it even better.
You don't get no better.
about be 3 big oysters on there. You can leave those together because you know it'd be real good for you. When you roast the oysters, put them on that roaster, you pick them up. You got 3 big oysters to eat one time instead of just one single. You know, but most people just like singles sometimes. But most people out here they like the clusters, which is they say they're clusters, but as you can see on his oysters, they're not really clusters. You know, you can see them. They're like mostly like see how they pick them up.
Well, you got 2 oysters on there.
See how that is? That's good eating there. Pick those up. Like I say, certain areas, they're not as quite as big. So what you do is you move from area to area until you find what you want. And the process is to get as many as you can. That way, you know, the more oysters you pick, the more money you make.
You know, Jerome Brown had a place he was hitting. He had a little ball over there. Jerome Brown. Yep.
He had a club over there.
It was a marina over there. It sure was a marina over there.
Called Cross the Hump.
Yep. Yep. Had hotels, everything over there. We used to kill them back in the days. But this spot always been a hot spot for trumpets.
Why is that? Do you know?
I don't know. It just always been like that. Always. Many of them.
Throw them on the ground,
Right.
bend over them. So we said, you know what? I think a doggone grocery cart might work. So we took that doggone grocery cart and then we bought a pressure washer.
Yeah.
And you see how they do it. And we washed them bad boys up.
Clean them up.
One time back in the days, you know, you didn't wash the oysters like you do now, but by state regulations, they have to be washed.
For real, man.
Yeah, that's how we do it now.
Golly,
Yeah,
man.
that way
We can eat them right now.
You can eat them right now. They're ready for the pot. So you got to wash them and put them in that cooler. And the cooler got to be 42 degrees. You're good to go. But they got to be washed.
Now, what about conch, man? How do you guys ever get conch?
We get conch. We don't. We haven't sell it any, but we get some. And we take them and eat them. Yeah, but we pick them up off the oyster beds because you don't want no conchs on your oyster bed. They'll eat up all your oysters.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they'll put a hurting on the bed. So every conch we see, we try to pick them up and bring them in and cook them and eat it.
You'll get them over. I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. Conch is, a lot of people say they real slow. You'd be surprised. Conchs eat crabs. I mean, they eat stuff like that. They eat clams. I mean, they'll wipe them out. I mean, you'll see him here. Next day, a couple of days, you'll see them with a bunch of empty shells. He done go from shell to shell to shell. Then he got that little snout with a little mouth on it. He go in there and blow a hole in, suck all the oyster out, go to the next one. You do a crab the same way. You sneak up on him, put that suction around him, take that little snout, go inside there, and peel every section of that crab. You know, and then nothing but a shell. So, yeah, conchs.